What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and how you feeling? Feeling, Cancer? You feeling lit? The moon is in Leo. This is a time to focus on the things that really just light your world up. That just something that just feels your passion. I really like when the moon is in Leo. I feel like this can be a very great time, especially after we've gotten we've been in the waters of Cancer. Now the moon's feeling invigorated in the sign of Leo. So we're going to get into that and more. But if you're new here, welcome, and know that when you come across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. And this is also a place for you if you have Cancer in your placements: Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node. I don't know why I'm on this North Node kick, but that's fine. Wherever. This one's for you. Maybe even your South Node. Maybe you're like me, you got in your South Node. Or if you just want to just kick it with Cancers, you don't need an excuse to come with us. And I do tarot card spreads based of our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going. Boy, of course, there's all them lunar shenanigans. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. I'll just kind of switch things up and try to keep it fresh, Cancer. You know how it is. But depending on when you're watching this, happy Jupiter Day. And actually, let me shuffle while I'm doing this. Jupiter is associated with Thursdays, and it's a day to just feel optimistic. Check it, Big Papa brings in hope, optimism, and I find that during this time, this is a great time to maybe share some wisdom, share your knowledge that you've gone through in your journeys, and this is a great time for just thinking about what ways do you want to expand, appreciate the abundance that you have in your life, and how it's just going to keep on increasing, because Big Papa, he's always so generous. And even during like Jupiter hours, those could be times to maybe during those hours, just like taking the time to just like, oh, absolutely. Maybe we're playing a little bit. Hold on, we'll talk about that in a second. Thanks, Spirit. But yeah, those are just some ways I feel to work with Jupiter days. Maybe even taking up a course of study, something to expand your mind, especially with Big Papa being in Jupiter, especially with Jupiter being in Gemini. This could be a great time to find a way to expand your knowledge and things like that. But also, I want to bring to your attention too, we have a planetary ingress. It's a planet that's changing signs, Mercury. They're going to be entering into the lovely Libra at about 1:09 a.m. and that's going to be Pacific time. And when we're talking about Mercury entering into Libra, this could be a very strong place for Mercury to be. This is a great way for, I feel like if you want to set like new intentions or anything along those lines. Libra is the cardinal air sign, and with Mercury being how we communicate, how we think, how we process the practical wisdom, you can really change up maybe how a certain mindset has been going on. Maybe you want to change up maybe you want to get a little more playful in your conversation. I really like this. I'm already getting to your general energy, but maybe you want to change up how you're approaching the day. Maybe you're wanting to initiate from a more joyful way, or maybe you want it to come in, maybe you want to come down a little bit, maybe you want to be a little bit more reserved, or feel like kind of play around with your speech. But this can be just a great time to just kind of to establish some balance in your thoughts, especially if you've been leaning more on like a negative end. How can we bring that back and get that into equilibrium? So that's just some ways. And if you want to know more about this, I talk about that more on my other channel, Alchemist Date, so definitely check that out. I have a link down in the description box below for that. Now let's get into the lunar shenanigans, because on the 26th of September, the moon is going to be entering into Leo at about 3:47 p.m. She's going to be forming about 4 aspects with the traditional celestial body, so we got a pretty mild time while the moon is in Leo, and she's in a waning crescent phase or balsamic moon. And I find with the moon in Leo, Leo is the fixed fire sign. Their ruler is the sun, and so I find with this, checking in to see these intentions in things that you've been setting or that you may have set over this lunar cycle. Do you feel like this is something that you want to put your energy towards? Do you feel like you're going to be able to sustain that? Or it's like, how can you, if you've been having maybe trouble sustaining this, I feel like a good example would be, let's say if you're trying to do like a workout routine, and with any kind of workout, sometimes it can be a bit of an adjustment when you're getting into the swing of things. So what are some ways you can make it fun instead of maybe be doing just like traditional, just like working out, or like just like lifting weights, or just going for runs and things, maybe you go dance. That could be a fun way to move. You're still moving the body, and you're gonna work up a sweat for sure. Do some samba or something like that. I don't know if this is a samba, but we're gonna pretend we're sambaing. Or this could be where maybe you're working out with some friends, possibly something to make this more sustainable, make it so that it's raising your vibration as opposed to something that's really daunting, And I would say too, just with the Leo energy, look at where you have been putting your energy, and pay attention to how things may be. Do they fill you up, or have something been draining you? Maybe there's a certain activity you've been doing that's just not working for you. Maybe there's certain conversations that haven't been lighting your fire. And it's just like, how can we shift those things and kind of change things up a little bit? So that's just some things to think about because we're getting ready to the moon slimming there in light. We're really getting into the quiet time of this, when we're getting into like the waning crescent phase. The moon's smiling at us again. So yeah, great time for reflection too, I feel like, with the waning crescent, as when we're in that balsamic moon as well. Now let's talk about the void of course period, then we'll get into the reading. The void of course is going to take place on Saturday, the 28th of September, and it's going to start at 9:04 a.m. and it's going to go until Sunday, the 29th of September, to about 2:41 a.m. So we're looking at about a 17-hour, 37-minute void of course. And the aspect that she's going to be, the last aspect that she's forming with one of the traditional planets, is going to be a sextile with Big Papa. And one thing with the aspect that usually flavors the void of course time, the sextile is a very excitable energy. And so this could be thinking about, I'd like to think of the void of course one way as reflecting on what happened while the moon was in Leo. And are you still feeling as excited about this intention as you were when you initially started that? Is this something that you really have? Do you have like a vision of how this is going to expand your world and expand it for your betterment? But another thing too, the void of course, it's generally not a great time to start up anything during this time. Be mindful about committing to things. Maybe you say during the void of course, like you get asked to pick up a shift at your work, for example, and then when the moon moves into Virgo, you're just like, oh, actually, you know what? How am I going to make that work when I have this thing and this thing going on? Or maybe I'm just not feeling that anymore. So that's something to pay attention to during those periods of times, just like starting up things. But because the moon doesn't have any more energy while she's in that void of course period of time. And so it's really a great time too to just kind of rest the body as well, do some meditation, some deep breathing, anything to just kind of get into that flow state, and just getting some general rest, staying hydrated. Actually, I'm thinking, let me get a little water here too. Bam. But yes, those are just some things I would say to kind of pay attention to when we're getting into that void of course time. The universe carves out these chunks of times for us to take care of ourselves. So let's work with those energies. And if you're wanting to work with these energies a bit more personally, wanting to get into the flow of your cycle, whatever your area that you're wanting to focus on and improve in your life, I have a couple links. One is to join the new moon groups that I host every month, and I'm actually having a thought. I may add something else with that if the 27-month is a little bit long or period for you. Maybe I'll just have also just like a 30-day thing too as well. So that's something that's available. It's just something that I'll make available. Done. It's manifested. So I'll have, if you want to find about just the other services that I provide as well, I have a link to book a free consultation with me, and we can talk about all of those things. Find out what would be most appropriate for you. Maybe you have a solar return coming up. We just entered into, depending on when you're watching this, we're about a week into the Libra season now. So maybe you got a solar return coming up, or maybe you have maybe moons in Virgo, and we're getting ready to get into the moon in Virgo. Maybe coming up on a lunar return, which can be very beneficial. Don't sleep on a lunar return. I've been working with the lunar return frequently. This last one that I've been on was focusing on the home space, and that really helped a lot. I moved my recording space into a whole new room, been just kind of doing some things around, so got some art, just kind of doing some things to liven up the place and make it just more cozy, more comfortable, feels like somebody lives here. So You could really do, and it helped my energy a ton. So that's just something to pay attention to as well. But I think that's all I got for this. Let's go ahead and switch back over, switch over. And then last couple of things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And we're going to go ahead and bring some good vibes in here before we start this reading. So adjust the volume if you need to, but let's ring the bell and then let's get this going. Lovely. All right, let's get into your general energy of the day because I was really excited about it. I'm still excited about this one. You got the, what is this? Oh, it is crazy. Crazy lace agate card and sunflowers. And this is a card of play, fire energy, and this is a card of more fun, jokes, jokes and laughter, please. So absolutely. So with this card, look at how happy these sunflowers make. I'm getting like a Queen of Wands energy. She usually has these sunflowers in her card and she goes towards the sun. What are some ways that you can incorporate some play? Maybe we were dancing, doing some samba like we were doing before. Maybe this is watching some comedy possibly here. Maybe this is allowing yourself to not to, especially if things have been feeling a little serious, maybe a little heavy here. And I understand that life is doing what life will do. But I feel that when we're able to laugh and able to joke and able to bring in some fun, it's just a reminder that the kind of the tougher times, they don't last forever. And even the fleeting, even the laughing and the jokes can be something that can be fleeting too. But I feel like it's like finding, like how I was talking with that Mercury in Libra, finding a balance. I feel like, there's space. I feel like it's making more space for just like this play, this fun, this joy. And I know there can be a number of things that could be going on in life. Well, what about this that's going? How can I play when this is going? How can I do this? But it's just like, well, because there's sunflowers that are just blooming all over the place. My goodness, there's where I'm at, there's this market, Pike Place Market, and there's all these vendors that have all these just flowers that are around, and it's so beautiful to see when you're walking around, all of this color just all over the place. And I think that that's it's just a reminder that even when there's stuff going on, I had gotten some pretty tough news not too long ago. And I was even reminded, even in those tougher times, the way that this person. So I'll go ahead and give you a little insider. I have a family member that's getting ready to pass on here soon, and she's been kind of going through some tough times. But she did it in Sag fashion. She was just like, you know what? I'm going to go and enjoy my life. I'm going to go play. I'm going to go golf. I'm going to go get outside. I'm going to enjoy the flowers. I'm going to do as much laughter and jokes and then squeeze as much happiness as I can out of the rest of this journey. And then I feel even in those kind of times, I was able to find a lot of solace in that, knowing that it wasn't like she spent the time just bedridden and anything like that, but that it was just filled with and surrounded by people that she loved and that she could joke with and things along those lines. So it's like even play and fun is an appropriate medicine for those times. It's needed in this journey, because otherwise, what are we doing? Let's get some terror on this. Let's laugh some. Let's get some details on this. I love that came up with Leo. Thanks, Spirit. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there she is! Thanks, girl. There's Big Mama. Well, not Big Mama. There's Mama, the mother of sticks. And then you got the 5 of knives, the 9 of coins, the 4 of sticks, the 2 of baskets, and the 6 of coins here. And the 6 of coins, this is a card of reciprocity, and I feel like of exchange. And I feel like it's just like exchanging more of these kind of this high vibrational energy that the mother of sticks can bring. She has a way of moving the emotions in a way, and just of like, when we're feeling down, then let's go get up. Let's go outside. Let's go on a trip. Let's go do something to celebrate here with the Four of Baskets, because there's too much life and too much things, too much beauty out there to just be focusing on all of the things of this Five of Knives. I'm getting like a lot of negativity coming from this, potentially something to try to rain on your parade. And you know what? This Nine of Coins, she ain't bothered by that. She's got her dress on with her evil eye. She's sitting there enjoying her life, her martini, her cat. She's doing it. She's like, I ain't got time for all that. Where she has space, and again, I feel like it's making, you can make, it's not like we're ignoring the opposites, you know, ignoring the toughness that can go on there. But I feel like when we're able to find the beauty in the play, in that we form a different relationship with those sort of like maybe more kind of negative focused thoughts or things along those lines. That's just something that I'm getting there. The Five of Knives is Venus in Aquarius, and I feel like we want to pay attention to the thoughts and things that we are attracting. Is this really what we believe, that it's just like we can't enjoy ourselves, or is this something that maybe we picked up from others possibly here? In this Nine of Coins, excuse me, it's just like, it's like she's repelling this. She's kind of marching to the beat of her own drum. She's attracting her own abundance. This is pre-Empress energies, Venus and Virgo. And I just feel like it's when you put that out there, you get more of that. And I even feel like kind of people sort of like check themselves when they're coming to talk with you a little bit. That's something else that's coming through. That's very fascinating. Let me get a little bit more with this Nine of Coins here. Okay. Spirit. So the Nine of Coins is clarified by the Ace of Coins and the Seven of Baskets here. In this Ace of Coins, it's giving me this, you have options as far as like how, I feel like how you can go about bringing this more joy, this laughter. It's like I'm feeling like maybe if you've been in a place where you've especially been feeling, I'm feeling like kind of some stuck energy here. That's interesting because the Seven of Baskets, this is where Venus is at. We got a lot of Venus energy here now. Wow, you have a lot of Venus energy here. Now that I'm really looking at this, you got 5 things of Venus. Venus in Aries, in Aquarius, in Cancer, in Virgo, and in Scorpio here. And I feel like if you've been, it's like I'm getting this like, what am I getting here? The Seven of Baskets is like giving me this, just a paying attention to where you're pulling from. There's a lot of ways, or pay attention to what you're attracting, to what you're magnetizing, especially if you've been feeling any sort of like particularly stuck emotions and things like that. There are so many options to bring in more fun, more jokes, more laughter, but there's an initiative that's needed to be taken. Venus has a way of attracting without really doing much, which is fantastic for Venus, but there's also something here where that attraction only does so much, that you have to take action with that too. You can want to have all this fun and things, but if we don't take that initiative to get outside, let's say, even for example, just something as simple as that can even start to break up maybe some stagnancy that's going on here. That's again, something's needing to be moved. And it's just like we've been it's just like attracting a lot. And yeah, that's, let me get some more tarot on this, because that is really fascinating to have all this. So just a lot of feminine energy. Even with the Six of Coins, that one is the moon in Taurus, but that's one of Venus's signs. So There's the sun. Look at Mother Sticks pulling. Let's pull some sunlight. And she's pulling Jupiter energy. Hold on, let me get the rest of this. Thanks, Spirit. Alright, so you have the Three of Knives, the Courting card, which is the Lover's card, Aunt Caroline, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and then Big Mama, which is the Sun card here. And listen, the Three of Knives can be melancholy. It can be, it's interesting. This person's already down, kind of feeling real down, and then this dog is really not adding on to it, just kind of peeing on the grave here. And I think that life is going to keep lifing. The wheel is going to keep turning. And we have a choice with the Courting card. And I feel like it's just like meeting yourself each day. Like, am I ready to bring in more play, or what do I need to do? It's like, it's like you're shining. Let me get my thoughts together. When something is going on in the present, I feel like it's being with that, but it's just like it's knowing that it's not going to stay like that forever. And maybe because I felt even a little strange when I was talking about even the fun is in the jokes can even be kind of fleeting. And maybe there's this thing here where it's like it's almost like there's this fear even of maybe allowing yourself to feel more fun, more jokes, because you're afraid that it's going to be taken away again, that life is just going to come pee on your grave again. But it's just like, if that's what we're expecting, then that's what's going to come. That's what's going to pull. But if we shift the dynamic here, things can change. When we're pulling from, when we really savor those times for fun, those times for joy, and remember that the universe provides for us in that way, that I feel like that makes the tougher times, they feel more bearable. Because it's just like, this is just a normal part of the process, and it's going to pass. I'm even getting here with the Three of Knives. If you're feeling this sense of loss, there's no loss in Divine Mind. And I know that, and I know how that sounds. And I'm saying that even just considering the experience that's just been kind of going on in our family, because this is something, it was a newer thing for me. I've not, as an adult, not experienced death in that sort of degree. The last time someone close to me, I was a child, and it was like a great grandparent. So this was, and that didn't make it any easier, but it was just like it didn't quite register as it does now. But thanks to, I feel like I've been looking into just a lot of, like, of course, different affirmation books, the Game of Life and how to play it, and that whole series of Florence Shinn's books. I would definitely recommend this book. It's like the complete works of this. This is fantastic for things along those lines. Even I'm even getting called here. Look, I got all my tools here. Heal Your Body is another really, really great one, I feel. And there's even this book I remember an astrologer talking about, Molly McCord. She was mentioning it's like the stages of grief, or something along those lines. I'll have to look up to see if I can find that book. But it's like dealing with the different stages of grief and things along those lines. And it's just knowing that the sun's going to come out again. And it always comes out again. It's just this Courting card. It's just like, do we choose to see it? Or do we choose to stay in where things are feeling gray? I'm getting taken back to the period of time where I was really in a different cycle and feeling kind of in a lower vibration, and looking at the sunrises with a bit of disdain and this not appreciation for it. But that was a choice that I had made at that time. And just as the cycles turn, I changed that around, and you know, we're still laughing. We're still laughing. We're carrying on. We're bringing the big energy. So let's get some advice from the sun. Yeah, I love that the sun showed up here. I love this. This is very bright energy that's coming through here. Okay. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Spirit. All right, so you have the Earth Magic card here. Let's switch back over. Because I'm not, like, when I'm talking about this fun, this jokes, it's not that we're making, not just making light of a situation. I think the jokes and the laughter and things are meant to be a way for us to kind of ground in ourselves. Where instead of, like, let's say, instead of like focusing on the loss, we appreciate the life in that we have more days ahead of us, and that a person, that's just one example. But I'm also getting to, if you're feeling a lot of, just feeling a lot, getting out and doing some grounding, just putting your feet, getting your bare feet on the ground and just getting outside can do a lot of, lot of healing. Maybe if you've been feeling outside of your body, or just like not able to connect, you know, feeling a bit detached or a bit almost disassociated with your body, just finding some different things to help you get grounded back into that again, to it's like working with maybe some, I'm looking at the stuff she has on her altar here, maybe working with some incense, maybe working with some crystals, even just cooking yourself a nice meal could be something that can maybe even help you get back rooted in yourself. And I'm even thinking earth magic. The body is part of, when we think of earth, the body is a part of that energy about, and it's, and I'm getting even to just making the play in this fun, in this light does the body well, and it just helps you to call on these times when things get tougher. It's just like, I'm not sure if you saw that. I was just thinking where I was holding up that card, I had a thumbs down that was going on there. And maybe you don't agree with me right now with that, and that's perfectly fine. But I do believe it's just like time heals time heals all wounds. And things get a bit easier to process with time, with this. And I just feel like this earth magic is these, they doing even just like little rituals each day can help you get along. Just something as simple as, you know, if you've been kind of stuck in a rut or just like in a real deep depression, you haven't moved for a little while, maybe you haven't gotten out of bed, just getting up and brush your teeth, brushing your hair, changing the clothes, maybe giving a shower. Get something, maybe just been kind of snacking. Let's get something with some substance. That's what I'm getting there. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Very fascinating. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, share this. If you know someone who might resonate with this, could give some benefits from this. And then subscribe there. I feel like I've called you Big Mama and Aunt Caroline already. Subscribe there, you lover card. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. You sunflower. Actually, let me show you something really cool while we're talking about sunflowers. I have on my water bottle here. Let me see if I can pull this, how graceful I can pull this off. There we go. I have, oh, actually I'll show you a couple stickers. Bam. I got this sunflower sticker on here. And at this butterfly, oh, wait, let's see. There we go. At this butterfly with all these sunflowers here. So look at that. Just a little something extra there for you. But I feel like maybe even doing some things to put up in your space to kind of brighten up the things. That might even be something to come through there for you. But last couple of things. If you want to, like I was talking about earlier, if you wanted to know what's going on in the weekly transits, the other planets that are going on, the cosmic chit chat, come on over to my other channel, Alchemist Date. I do weekly videos there. I release them every Mercury day. And I usually do them from, it's the forecast usually from like that Thursday after the day from the Thursday to like the next Wednesday. So I release those regularly. And then I have these videos that I kind of do as I make time for them. They're different planetary videos. They're planets in different houses, in different zodiac signs. And I have them all by playlist for you. So if you want to check out some of my thoughts about these signs and kind of comment on how you've been working with that, all that housekeeping, it's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card or cards here so I can get you out of here. Get you out there having fun, laughing. Yes, laughter, please. I'd love that. I'm gonna have to find a shirt that says that. Thank you, Spirit. Lovely. All right, so you have the Echinacea card here, and this is a card of destiny. And this is associated with Big Papa, Jupiter, and Pluto here. And you know, I'm thinking with this, because sometimes I think, and I think this happens sometimes, where you can get to this place, especially when you're feeling the Three of Swords, when you've been feeling down, you get like, am I going to feel, is this just my destiny just to feel like this forever? Is this going to be just it? And it's just like, no. No, the wheel is always turning. There's always a way to transform a situation. These situations happen in order to expand you even more. It's your destiny to get through it. And it's your destiny to laugh again. And to always find the laughter, to have your destiny is more fun, more jokes, and laughter, please. That's your destiny. And I say this, that it's like with repetition, it's like with this practice, getting into those, doing those rituals, getting into those higher vibrations and things, and taking care of yourself during those periods of time can give you a broader perspective as far as what destiny means, or what you're destined for. You know, you could look at my chart and think, with my sun being in the 12th house, and I have like this, the North Node is in the 6th house and all this stuff. So it's like, you would think like, oh, he's probably you could usually 12th house stuff is like doom, gloom, and it's just like, ugh. But where I'm no stranger to suffering, I've also know that a lot of that experience has helped shape this. It's helped me bring this and bring it big, you know. And it gave me even a big perspective on like Jupiter energy, where I have Jupiter on my ascendant, and when I was down, man, could I pull an energy out of a room. If I wasn't mindful, I could just sap all that out the room. But just as mindfully, I could fill it up. I could fill it up and do it in a real big way. And I altered the course of my destiny. If you had asked me 10 years ago, we'd had a whole different conversation. This would have been a different story. But life is beautiful that way, in that it can, once you keep working towards the sun, it'll be there for you. The sun will shine every time you're looking for it. So I'm gonna leave that there. A little something to meditate on, but keep raising that consciousness. Keep eyes on that moon. She's smiling. She's laughing. She's bringing jokes. She's bringing fun. And I will catch you on the next one. Yes, on Sunday.